Hi, and welcome to Module 2. During Module 2, we are going to be looking at Chapters 3, 4, and 5 in our curriculum. In these chapters, we're going to look at different techniques we need for communicating with other people in large practice contexts. We're going to talk about assertiveness and the importance of interactional and interpersonal skills in organizations and community, and we're going to look at networking. So first, I want to start off just by saying that I wish I had so much more time to talk with you all and not just 8-10 minutes to talk to you all. There are so many opportunities within this context to have some really rich discussions, but the format of this class does not organically set us up for that. So if you would like to have additional discussions, you can reach out to myself, you can reach out to other classmates, post something up and ask if anybody would like to have additional discussions. All right, so we're going to come on back to chapters 3, 4, and 5. So when I look at these chapters, I have two words that stand out to me that kind of just like tie them all up in a nice little bow. And those two words are competency and communication. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to read about our value of competence within the social work ethics and values. And so I will be posting a link to the NASW Code of Ethics under this lecture, just like I did last week. Don't be surprised if you see it every week and you hear me connecting back every week, because as I said last week, we should always be connecting our work, no matter if it's micro, meso, or macro, back to our Code of Ethics. So competence. The ethical principle is stated as social workers practice within their areas of competence and develop and enhance their professional expertise. So when you think about that statement, take a moment and think about, why would I associate competence with networking, collaboration, and communicating with other agencies? So let's step back a second and think about how networking, collaborating, and competency all mesh together. So I've already talked about the work that I do with a grant that we're working on meso and macro level strategies, and we do some micro work also, but I do a lot of meetings and collaborating with people from other nonprofits in my areas and law enforcement and schools, and people that work in all types of systems that then feed into primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention in the child welfare system. So this is when I wish we were in person, but if I come together with people from other places and I come in and my body language is confident, it's fine. My eye contact is confident, it's fine. But I come in as though I'm competent in every domain that we are going to be discussing. How could that affect the environment? How could that affect our ability to collaborate? Think about it for a second. So it could have a couple effects. Number one, it could say to people that I think that I know everything. I mean, it's going to say to people that this person thinks they know everything. So then the things that I really am an expert at, they're not going to maybe listen with as much weight or value when I really speak about the things that I'm an expert at. And then if I do not acknowledge the expertise or competencies of those other people sitting around the table, why have them at the table? What is their value at the table? What do they feel is their value if I do not recognize their expertise and their competencies, which could be different or the same as mine? I hope that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes when we're doing these networkings and we're doing these collaborations, there can be a little bit of tension in there when we talk about expertise and experiences, and it can cause sometimes some like a little bit of roughness. And so what do we do then? Well, then that's where that second word comes into place. And what was that second word again? Start with a C. Communication, right? So when we start to feel those gritty times, it's best to seek to understand. That is like the easiest way to say it. Seek to understand the other person's expertise, the other person's perceptions. You don't have to agree with them to seek to understand them. And the text you read and the other things you do within this module will go into deeper detail about conflict resolution. We want to make sure that we are communicating in our meetings. I have so many meetings I sit in every week, and while I so value them because I get together with some very, very intelligent, experienced, passionate individuals, and we're all working together to meet a like goal within these alliances and collaborations that I engage with, they are exhausting, especially the ones that I am responsible for. And here's why. Because meetings should be intentional, which means you should have pre-work, you have the actual meeting, and then there should be post-work. And I know in the text in chapters 3, 4, and 5, you're going to go over some different scenarios within all of those things that when I read them, I was like, oh my gosh. These are so true. These are so many things that people experience as they are engaging in meetings with other partners, and that includes community members. So for a good meeting, you want to make sure that you have a good, clear agenda, and that agenda is sent out in time for people to be prepared to come to the meeting, right? So that they know what they're talking about. If they have a part in that meeting, if their expertise is caught upon that meeting, they are forewarned and they can come prepared. Secondly, you want to make sure that the outcomes of those meetings are clearly stated also. Again, it's going to lead the conversation in the meeting and who is the best person to be presenting that topic at the meeting. And then we're going to make sure that there are clear action items when we leave that meeting. So most of the meetings that I engage with are not just one and done. They are reoccurring meetings within different work groups, within different alliances, within different collaborations. So we know we're going to be meeting on a regular basis, this day, this time, twice a month, monthly, quarterly, however it lays out. When we're working with so many people, there's going to be so many amazing things that happen and so many headaches that happen. I would just encourage you to continue to network, to continue to look at just like the magic of macro work. And that if you have any questions or you want to dive into this deeper with me, please reach out to me. My contact information is in the syllabus, and it's also in the Meet Your Instructor section of the campus. I just do want to say that networking is super important regardless of what level of social work you are doing. It breaks us out of our silos. It helps us to see different work, different opinions, different experiences. So one of the ways that I improve my networking is through the NASW and NASWKY, which is the National Association of Social Workers, National and Kentucky. Then we have the Wellbeing Alliance here in Northern Kentucky, and we have the Safety Net Alliance of Northern Kentucky. So I'm going to place a few links below this video for you to check that out. If you are not in the state of Kentucky, you can still look up the National Association of Social Workers National, and then you can go find your state in there. But if you have any questions about that, please just reach out to me. Here's to week 2, y'all. Talk to you later. Thanks.